Okay, everybody, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. We are Pages Promotions. We're doing a wacky thing called Blind Date with a Book. We are not showing you the book covers ahead of time. We're not showing you the titles. What we're going to do is have our authors read a little bit for you. And I got to find my share screen. There we go. Okay. See, I'm getting there. I'm a little rusty. It's been a couple of months, but we're doing Blind Date with a Book. We're going to have our authors, Andrew Smith and Randy Pearson, read for you. You're not going to know what book they're going to read from. They're both authors of multiple books, so you won't know. What you will know is, wait a second, we'll get to that. Hold on. See, Diana's already messing things up. There we go. Okay, see? Okay, so tonight we're going to have 2 readers. And then we're going to do a real quick chat to find out who believes which goes with which. If you already recognize the cover, don't spoil the fun for everybody else. And then afterward, we're gonna, what are we gonna do? We're gonna give away books after we're done reading. So I'm gonna try and make my share screen thing work. I'm gonna make mistakes. It's day 1, opening night. You know, we'll muddle our way through and have a good time anyway. So tonight, we're gonna start with Randy Pearson reading first for us. He's not gonna show us the cover. He's not gonna show us which book. He's just gonna read. He's got 5 happy minutes, and then we'll have Andrew read, and then we'll reveal our books if Diana can get it right. Go, Randy.
All righty, so here we go. Rounding the corner of the tracks, Noman Santaskoy knew the freight train would barrel into him. He screamed as the monstrous locomotive slammed head-on into his velocipede. The power of the train shoved the front end of his single-rider rail bike up and off the tracks, forcing him into a wheelie. Then the velocipede shot up in the air, hovering over Santaskoy for an agonizing moment as his body smashed into the tracks, his back landing painfully on the left rail. His ride followed him down, falling directly on top of him. Pain erupted in his legs, chest, head. In the blink of an eye, the locomotive struck the Pirate King. Pain cascaded through his entire body as the engine's cowcatcher pushed him up and off the tracks. As he and his ride tumbled down the grassy embankment, the crumpled machine hit a rock, forcing it in a different direction from Santaskoy's mangled body. Coming to rest in the dry weed-filled valley, the remnants of the velocipede smoked off in the distance. Santaskoy groaned as he landed face down in the tall grass. The locomotive, seemingly oblivious to the mayhem it left in its wake, continued to roll south. It headed rapidly down the line until the ambient sounds of nature engulfed its repetitive echo. Everything hurt the Pirate King so intensely that he could not pinpoint any specific pain points. Though Santaskoy realized the train had badly damaged one of his legs, blood from a dozen wounds seeped into the ground around him, but his leg felt numb, absent. When he heard one of the Traxel brothers yelling for the other, he fought the urge to succumb to unconsciousness. They were coming his way to see if he still had life in his broken body. If they found him alive, he would surely spend his life in prison. No, he raged internally, that must not happen. There, Benjamin Jam Traxel yelled from somewhere seemingly far away. Everything felt so distant, like a dream world, or more accurately, an anguish-filled nightmare. When he felt the ground around him move and heard the crinkle of grass near his head, he knew they stood directly above him. That's a lot of blood, Jackson Jax Traxel said, his voice faint. Jam wedged his foot under Santaskoy's body. The pirate leader steeled himself, forcing his eyes wide open with a pained grimace on his face as Jam forcefully rolled him onto his back. Santaskoy knew he could not hold this expression long, but he had to try. The air assaulted Santaskoy's face, and the light screamed at his brain to shut his eyes, but he commanded them to remain open for just a moment longer. He stared at nothing, thought about nothing. When he heard Jackson turn and vomit into a bush, Santaskoy had to stifle a smile. Jam turned away from the body to comfort his brother, saying softly, "The king of the track pirates. He lived and died by the train." Only after the brothers turned and walked back up the tracks did Santaskoy allow the all-encompassing pain to overtake him and force him into unconsciousness. Darrell Edison, the young track pirate, did not know what to do next or where to go. Saniskoy had tasked him with ending the life of that rail rider named Barrett. Edison had the shovel poised, ready to sever the man's head from his body. However, when it came time to perform the gruesome deed, he just could not bring himself to do it. Oh, that dude, he got into my head, Edison told himself by way of a personal explanation. That's all. I'm sure I can redeem myself to Saniskoy somehow. A cacophonous steel-on-steel crash down the tracks to the south jarred Edison out of his thoughts. Oh, kind of sounds like a train hitting something, he thought. I've only seen that happen one other time. He recalled a time that a track pirate, on one of their late-night train robberies, spent a little too much time on the wrong tracks. In any train versus track vehicle situation, he thought wryly, the train always wins. With curiosity motivating him, he moved his velocipede to the tracks and started rolling in that direction. After driving a few minutes, he heard voices down the tracks. He thought it odd that he did not hear any vehicle noise, only talking and footfalls on the railroad ties. Edison stopped his vehicle, removed it from the tracks, and hid it in the tall grass with it. When Jam and Jack came walking by, he ducked a bit lower and listened to their conversation. Jack said, "Man, I can't stop thinking about what we saw. What a way to go." Jam shook his head slowly. Getting hit by a train has to be the worst way to go, has to be the worst way to die. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, Jack said humorlessly. Edison watched them trudge past and continued to follow their movement until he rounded the corner. As he put his velocipede down to the tracks, he thought about what they said. Getting hit by a train. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I wonder who they're talking about. Then, putting all the pieces together, the realization hit him. Oh my God, Saniskoy!
Diane,
There you go.
you're muted. You're very quiet because you're muted.
There we go.
There you go.
All right, I got to stop turning off my microphone. Thank you very much, Randy. I appreciate that. You did it with 12 seconds to spare. Good
Yes.
job. Right on time. I'm so impressed. Okay. Andrew is going to read next. We don't know what book, but we have a sneak peek. Let me show you the sneak peek again. Let me see if I can do this. There's the sneak peek. And now we're going to go back in, and Andrew is going to read for us. Andrew, your 5 minutes starts now. Go.
Okay. Alex was limping through the hills of Appalachia with his weapon and more questions than answers. Fortunately for him, the satellite phone was destroyed when they homed in on it with missiles to kill them. Mark should have survived, but now it was only Alex. Another truck was coming up behind him from a distance, and Alex once again tried to wave it down. This was the fifth truck that had come down this road in more than 4 hours, and he expected this would be the fifth truck that passed him. But this time, the beat-up old blue Chevy pulled over to the side. Alex put his M16 in the back of the truck and got in the front with the man that made Methuselah look like a spring chicken. His Coke bottle eyeglasses made Alex wonder if he would have been safer on the road for a few more hours. But the man squinted slightly and said, "Where are you headed, boy?" "Anywhere with a phone," Alex said. "Well, I ain't got one and never seen the need for one of them damn cell phone things, but I bet you there'll be one up a piece towards Ivell," the man said. "Ivell?" asked Alex. "You ain't from around here, huh?" the man continued. "It's a little town north of Pikeville. That's where you are now, kinda. You must be a revenuer to be out this way. Ain't nothing out here but the big house on the hill and a bunch of poor-ass rednecks like me. Gotta tell you, though, that guy up there did us good. He took care of my son and sent him off to college and told him to take care of his mama no matter what." Alex considered how little they knew about Michael and how he was more involved in a lot of things the government had no idea about. "Yeah, I know him. He's a good guy." "Yep," said the old man. "He is a saint, but damn, you better not cross him. Shit, I hear he can shoot a deer from a ways you can't even see from. And my cousin Bill said he came on him once in the woods and he drew so fast on him that Bill damn near peed himself. Yeah, said Alex. I could see him doing that. Once my cousin Sue Ellen went up there to see if she could get him to go on a date, but she didn't know about that little blonde girl up there. She said they took her in and fed her, gave her some clothes, and damned if she didn't come back feeling just like a princess. Alex just nodded this time. So I gotta ask you, mister, the old man said as he showed Alex the front of a .44 Magnum. You ain't here to mess with that boy, is you? Alex sighed. No, sir, I was up here helping him, and he had to leave. We got separated, and now some revenuers killed my friends and left me for dead. Michael left so fast I can't get in touch with him, and they've headed out. I'll get in touch with him later, but I promise we're not enemies. The old man regarded him for a few moments as he drove, then swerved a little when he realized he was going off the road. As he righted himself, he slid the pistol back into the door holster on the driver's side of the car. I'm trusting you, the old man said, just because those damn revenuers are always in our business, and you look like a good kid. Alex sighed. He knew if the old man had pulled the trigger on the pistol at that range, he would have been cut in half. But in the end, he was just too tired to fight it. Alex set his head back for a moment and nodded off to sleep. And I'm early.
You are early. Yay! You are done at 1:12. Good job. 1:12 left.
Do it.
You practiced. Good job. Okay, so we had a couple of guesses already in the chat room about who did what. Let me go back and I'll show you my screen again so you guys can see this. Here are the two books. You may or may not know which goes where. And we're gonna give, I'm making this up on the fly, guys. So we're gonna give you guys an opportunity to guess. So, and we do have a little bit of time after. So yes, we are gonna give you guys a couple of minutes to ask some questions, which is super fun for me. Everybody who thinks they know which book Andrew read, I want you to raise your little hand at the bottom. Who thinks they know which one? Now let's do it this way. I'm going to do it a different way. See, I'm learning as I go, guys. I'm learning as I go. Here's what I'm going to do. All right. Everybody take a look at the happy screen. There's one book in the top and one book on the bottom. Take a look at that. Read the synopsis if you can see it, if you've got a big enough monitor. If you can't, just take a look at the little snippet that we showed you on the screen. Now, everybody who thinks Randy's book was on top, raise your hand. See the little hand-raising doodad in the bottom? The bottom of your screen, there's a little raise hand guy. Looks like this. And you're going to see a little raised hand guy show up on your screen. Everybody who thinks Randy read the top book, raise your hands. Yay!
I see a lot of hands going up.
So much fun. Okay, everybody who thinks Andrew wrote the top book, raise your hand. Yay! You know what I need to do? I need to somehow see my hand raisings. I'm having a hard time seeing
Pull
it.
up the attendees side and you can see all these hand raises.
You know?
It looks like people, they don't believe I wrote the top book.
They don't. Well, you know what? Since I'm like stumbling through this and you guys are probably smarter than me anyway, let me just show you what the books are.
See how you are.
2, written by Randy Pearson, and Vengeful Son, written by Andrew Smith. Here's what I want you to do now, guys. Wait a second. You see it now? There it is. There's the full cover reveal. I swear by the end of the month, I'll get this right. Okay. Nicely done, Randy. Okay. Oh, Andrew's got it. Look, he's got them both. See,
Oh,
he's
wow.
so smart.
Look at him
Oh my
go.
gosh. He's so smart, Randy. See?
Yeah, he's got his books all handy.
He's
Mine are
got all
boxed
of his
away
books
over here.
handy. All right.
Nice.
Well done. Well done. Okay. Now, Randy,
Yes.
tell us where you got the inspiration for this book. I know that you wrote, obviously, book one before.
Mhm.
So just real quick, because we've got some time, give us a little about your inspiration, where you decided to write this book, where the idea came from.
Well, there was one day many years ago that I was sitting waiting for a train. You pull up to the gates and the gates come down. You know, every once in a while that'll happen and a train won't come by right away. And for some weird reason, my mind thought, how weird would it be if two guys on a little handcar came pumping by, waving as they went by. And just for some reason, my brain just went right there. And I just started thinking about that, how funny that would be to have this little thing going on, you know. So so I sat there writing it in my head, like, oh, what happened? And then the train went by. Then the train, it was gone. The gates come back up. People are honking behind me, like, well, sorry, I'm thinking, I'm writing a story. Give me a minute, you know, and drive off, you know, and went home and just started thinking about it, realizing that I don't know why I thought about this little guy, but you don't see a whole lot of hand cars in the world. There's very
Yeah,
like, you know, you think about going back to the silent movies, you know, you'd have these things in there,
absolutely.
or Brother, We're Out Thou. Yeah, you know, so yeah, I just suddenly realized this would be an interesting story because for one thing, hardly people, if you mention it, like you show it to them, like, oh yeah, I know what that thing is, but you've never seen one in real life. You've never been on one, you know,
Yeah,
so
unless you've
yeah, I
been to
just,
the
that's where
Henry
it came
Ford
from.
Museum, you probably haven't seen one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Randy. Andrew, can you answer the same question for us? How'd you get the idea to write Vengeful Son? And I know you've got, what, like 6 books now in the series. Where did this idea for Masterson come from?
There are 12 books that are shelled out, 5 books that are published and available, a 6th that's about halfway done right now that I put on hold for another project. And the idea of Vengeful Son came from a dream that I have a lot of dreams, and a lot of my books come from a very interesting mental apparitions floating around in my mind at night in the few hours that I sleep. But I had this idea about an ex-assassin who is a tragic anti-hero, and he does things, but he has his own code of honor, and he has someone that he is incredibly in love with. And it's one thing that's missing in a lot of stories. The idea that an assassin always has to be alone is in my thoughts a little foolish. And then I had all of this knowledge about weapons and tactics and all this other stuff that I thought, wow, if I could put all this in and mesh it into the dream. So I built the Masterson files with him as an assassin that gets the feel of a weapon quickly and can shoot at incredible ranges, and is in Kentucky. And Kentucky is, I grew up, when I was 15, I moved to Kentucky, and Kentucky has a special place in my heart. But I know that the small cities in Kentucky are tight communities that will protect anybody if you're on the in. And thought, well, where would an ex-assassin go to retire? And it would be in that tight community. And then he's pulled out of it and goes other places. But constantly challenging himself, constantly trying to do better, and has a strange moral code that death is not always a bad thing. And if you read the book, some of the situations in the first book that are laid out, and definitely in the second, third, fourth, and fifth, he had a particular reason for doing the things that he did, even when they were bad. And you know, in the end, he made a lot of money off of it, and he's gonna try to just let it all go. Nobody seems to want to let him. But yeah, it was a fun journey, and it will continue to be a fun journey because he's a great character. I know Mark, well, what was that, Andrew? How much of A. Smith is in Michael Masterson? A. Smith is in Michael Masterson. There's a lot of that. I have the same thoughts that he does. If I miss a shot from any range, I'm off to the side and practicing harder. But I'm in all of the characters that are on there, and I pretty much identify with Alan in the book, Mark. So you'll get a kick out of it if you remember Alan. I know you just read this book.
It's a great read. I had a really good time with it. Randy, we have a question for you. I can't see who this is from, but the question is, I get the sense that your book is action, yet a little humor is true, and is it steampunk?
Not steampunk, that's modern day. So it's the idea that, because this is the sequel to Track Brothers. So the first Track Brothers had a lot more with hand cars, and so you started out again with the manual kind, but I did a lot of research on what different types were around. So a lot of motorized ones and that type of thing. So I kind of had to come up with a couple of different factions of good guys and bad guys. And the good guys, so to speak, the rail riders have mostly these type of vehicles where they're doing their own power. And the other ones are the track pirates, or the bad guys. They have the motorized ones, so they can zip up on trains and steal stuff off of them.
And be more evil. More easily.
But the first one was a lot more humor based. I mean, I write humor in general. I can't seem to help myself to not put humor in things. So this one here has the second one, the sequel, has a little less humor, I think, overall, but it's still, you're still going to get some laughs out of it, because that's just how I write.
Excellent. Here's a question for both of you. If you can give me some quick, short, not just yes or no's, but short answers. Are the snippets you read tonight from the beginning opening pages of your books, or are they from inside the pages of your books?
I can start. Mine is from the beginning. I had to actually, this is the first part of the first chapter, and then a little bit further on in the thing. I decided I cut a little bit out for this reading just to get a little more action in this beginning section. But basically, yes, this is how the story starts for mine.
Andrew?
I decided to pick something towards the center, and this is a scene after a whole lot of action has happened. I thought it would be a little bit over the top just to throw the action in for me. I was trying to throw some of the dialogue in, a little bit of the suspense, getting ready for the suspense workshop coming up, but put a little suspense in there. And I like that passage because I love the old man and I never revisited him. In any of the
he's
other,
a great character.
but he's a great character. And there was a second chapter, because the chapters are relatively short for people with short attention spans. There's a second chapter that I was going to read with it, but it came out to 8.5 minutes if I did that. And I didn't want to be a bad person.
I appreciate that.
The second chapter goes in with him with a little more depth, and kind of takes care of Alex, who has just gone through a really rough time. Picking it out, it stood on its own, but it was well in.
Yeah, I remember it was. Okay, while I'm talking to you about some other stuff, if you have any other questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and we'll try to get to them before this is all over. We're going to stretch out the time a little bit because it's me stumbling and I'm having, opening night issues. So if you need to leave right now, thanks for staying, but I hope you'll stay for like 2 more minutes so we can spin the spinning wheel of happiness and see who gets to win.
Stay
for the wheel. Yeah, I mean, the whole point you came is to win, right? Yeah. Here we go. Okay, so let me just talk to you real quick about what we're doing here. We're giving away books every night, but we're also doing bonus giveaways. From one of the books that you'll get, imagine yourself being Charlie Bucket in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. One of the books that one of our contestants or our attendees, I should say, will win will have a golden ticket in it. That golden ticket will be tucked inside a book. When you get the book, bring it home, open it. If you have the golden ticket inside, you're going to win a Kindle Fire 7 tablet. This is a tablet that is ad-free. we went the extra mile, bought the one that has the ad free so you guys can really enjoy this prize. And then secondly, we have a silver ticket. It's the Blood in the Rain prize box. And this is donated by author Jacob Bullen. He's going to be in one of our other, he's going to be in the fantasy blind date. I won't tell you which book he's going to read from because I think he's got 6 or 7 out. But he has donated a long sleeve hoodie sweatshirt and the first 2 books in the Blood in the Rain series. So again, if you win a book tonight, or if you win a book at any point during the month of February, check it when you get it. And if it's got that gold or silver ticket in it, you will win the bonus prizes. We're just trying to make this, super fun, and chocolate doesn't ship well, so you're getting other stuff besides chocolate. That's what we're gonna do. So does anybody else have any other questions for either Andrew or Randy before we start spinning the wheel of happiness?
They're all sitting here, prizes, 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 prizes.
Awesome. Now there's going to be, just so you guys know, again, this is opening night and we did just 2 authors to give me a chance to get my feet wet and get my sea legs. Come to the later events, there's going to be more authors speaking. Andrew, can you answer that question real quick? Was Tucker seriously someone you met or knew?
Yeah, he was based on somebody I knew in West Virginia. I met them when I was traveling all over Kentucky and West Virginia. I worked for a company called Ashland Oil, I just sat down and talked to him. It was real nice, and I thought, why not put this personality to somebody who would be in the hills? And if you've been to the Appalachia, the eastern part of Kentucky is very similar to the western part of West Virginia, he's guy that was way over the top. And yes, he was the kind of guy that would return the gun, who would have taken care of him. There is a code of honor in the hills of Kentucky that cannot be broken. I was taken out by a gentleman into the middle of a field to a beehive, and he kind of explained a bunch of that stuff to me about how people stand behind each other, and it's something that most people don't see. If you're in the city, if you're in other places, you just don't see that kind of
loyalty. We see that in Upper Michigan all the time near our cabin. Yep. Okay, we're going to do, I don't know who asked it, but somebody asked if an ounce of energy from Andrew can be one of the prizes. If I could bottle Andrew's energy, I would, because I need Andrew's energy. So yeah, I wish I could give it to you, can't. All right, we're going to do the spinning wheel of happiness. So everybody hold on to your seats. We are giving away 5 books tonight. So I'm going to spin the wheel 5 glorious times, and we will, Kate, I would love it if you could take notes for me just in case my software fails and I lose who wins. That would be awesome. I know I'm like springing that on you at the last minute, but if you could grab a pen, I'd appreciate that. Okay, here we go.
Everybody. Good luck.
So tonight, prize number 1 is, see, I got to do this.
You got to spin it. Come on.
Yeah, see, prize number 1 is going to be this book, Driving Crazy, written by Randy Pearson. It's not the book he read from tonight, but you're going to love it anyway. So,
you want humor, that's the one right there.
So, prize number 1, here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. Ready? Here we go.
Around and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Brent Seth, congratulations. Right, you are the first prize winner. Yay, Brent Seth. Yay. Okay, here we go. Prize book number 2. Now, we're not obviously giving away books from the authors exclusively tonight. We're also kind of teasing you with giveaways from authors that we'll be reading later in the month, because it's more fun that way. Prize number 2 is going to be Drive Through Murder by Colleen Mooney. She's from New Orleans, Louisiana area. I don't know if it's New Orleans proper, but Louisiana definitely. So there you go. That's going to be prize number 2. Here we go. And we're going to spin the spinny wheel. Yay!
Spinning wheel, got to go round.
Mark Bello. Yay! Congratulations, Mark Bello. You won prize number 2.
Mark's books are a lot of fun. So
Mark's
he wrote
books
me
are a lot of
a
fun.
nice review. I'll have to write him a nice review since I have read 2 of his books. So woo-ha. Woo-ha.
Ta-da! Devil's Bane, written by Ken McGregor. He's going to be here later for our young adult session. This is a really cool book. But he's also going to be here for the fantasy session. So check in with those 2 sessions later this month. And again, here we go. Winner number 3, spin the wheel. Barbara Love, you are winner number 3. Yay! See, I wish I had sound with the spinning wheel, but because I'm wearing a headset, you guys can't hear the sound, which is kind of a bummer. Because it's like got circus music in it. It has applause and everything. So, yay. So, book number 3 giveaway. 1, 2, 3, no, 4. This is 4. See, Diana, math. Diana does not math. Diana is a degree in English. Diana does not math. Okay, here we go. Danny's Inferno, written by, yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't want to get your name wrong, Scott. Scott Rutherford. There we go. Scott is a new author to me. I haven't read him yet, but I'm super excited to. So he can be a new author for you as well. We're going to spin the spinning wheel for Scott's book. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Danielle DeFalco. Yay! For those of you who don't know, Danielle also goes by DM Taylor, and she's going to be reading later in the month as well. Finally, book number 5 is a wonderful, delightful, terrific children's book. Here it is. Oh, yeah. See, Michael, next time I'll give them letters instead of numbers. Okay. Turtle Bay by Jordan Scavone. This is book number 5, and it's a delightful children's book. You're going to love it if you have young people in your life. It's definitely a book that you want to get your hands on. He's going to be here for one of the children's book events, but of course, I can't remember which one because we have 2 of them. We have so many great children's authors coming in. Here's the final spinning wheel.
The final spin.
Gary Floyd. Yay! You've won the final 5th spinning wheel. So congratulations, everybody. If you've won a book,
However,
that would be, wait a second, Brent Seth, Mark Bello, Barbara Love, Danielle DeFalco, and Gary Floyd. If you just had your name read because you won a book, you're going to want to know this information. Ta-da! Yay! Huzzah! You've won a book. This is what you have to do. Send an email with your mailing address to me by midnight tonight at pagespromotions.com. You're going to, this is how you're going to claim your prize. In the subject line, put, I won a book. Put your name and your mailing address. Again, that address is diana@pagespromotions.com. Make sure you use the same email address that you used to sign up for tonight's meeting so that we can verify it. If you don't send me that email by midnight tonight, I'm going to put that book into the rotation to win on a different night this month. So don't lose out. Make sure that you send me that email. Yes, use the same email you used to sign up for tonight's thingy. Thanks everybody for coming. For those of you, I don't know if I can do this. Nope, I can't. I don't know how to do it. I'll talk to you later, Andrew. So I was going to show you the results from the poll. Let me see if I can. Here we go. There's the results from the poll. Thank you so much for all the new people. More than half of you are new people to our events. I really appreciate you giving us the opportunity to introduce you to some new writers in your life and to give me the opportunity to stumble through this first opening night. I promise tomorrow will be better. Thank you so very much. Here are the rest of the thingies, Facebook. For those of you who enjoyed tonight, I appreciate you coming, and I would really love it if you could share this wacky event we're doing all month long. We're doing workshops. We're having just a blast. So the more you can share it and tell people about it, I'd really, really appreciate that. And I know the authors would too.
I just have something to add for a second.
I was just going to say, has anybody got any parting words?
I do. I always have parting words. It's what I do. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for coming, because it's great, and we won by every one of you being here, and I hope that you won by sharing with each other and sharing with us. Our books are our passion, and there's a lot of time and effort that we put into them, and all of the different authors that are here are very passionate about what they write. I hope that you come back, and I seriously hope that if you get an opportunity to come to my workshop on suspense at the end of the month, that you come in. We're going to go through a fun little story, and I'm going to see if I can make Diana cringe being in the suspense, because she read the clear, clean, nice version of the story. But
I'm kind of wary.
It's going to be fun. And you know, you could have been watching Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy, but instead you got to spend the night with us, and there's nothing better. You got to see all of my crazy pictures in the back, and I really am very thankful for everyone that came. So
absolutely. Randy, any parting words?
I would have been watching MASH had I not been here. So I've seen MASH a million times. I'll see it a million times more. This was so much more fun. I appreciate everybody coming out. Thank you, Diana, for having me out here. Andrew, always fun hanging out with you. Can't wait to do it in real life one of these, when we're back in the real world again, right?
Right.
Thank you, everybody. And just because I got to say it, so my book, this one's the sequel. So if you want to buy the first one, so you can figure out what's happening in the second one, it's not a bad idea. I can't say prices on here, but on Amazon, it's a little bit cheaper than it would normally be. So I'll just say that. I think I can get away with that. So
holy moly. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that, because I completely forgot. We've got a virtual bookshop on our website. So I'm putting it in there right now. See, this is me not paying attention. Okay, there's the link. If you go to pagespromotions.com, go to the virtual bookshop. There's going to be, after this is over, I'm going to make the tab live, because I wanted to wait until we got a couple of our authors to read first. But if you're interested in anything that these wonderful gentlemen write, you will see it on that website. There are direct links. I'm going to see if I can pull it up in just a second here. There are direct links to the page, to their books on that page, so that, Andrew, I can't get it. Can you get it? There are direct links to all the books, and there are emails that you can contact the authors directly. We're doing an additional fun thing. Let's say you go to Amazon and you buy Randy's book, but you'd still like to have it signed. Guess what we're doing? We're doing this thing. These are limited edition numbered book plates, and the author will sign these for you. They'll inscribe them for you, and on the back there are two little sticky things so you can tuck them inside your books, and they will stay there forever. Acid-free, lignin-free, double sticky back tape things. So if you're interested in getting one of these great book plates from one of these authors and you'd like your book signed, whether you buy it directly for them or buy it on Amazon or through another distributor, go to our website, contact the author, ask for a book plate. You'll get them for free. And all the direct links, as I say, to the books to buy them are on that as well. I am trying to pull up the webpage so you guys can see it. I will be much more organized about this tomorrow. But I'm still trying to wade through. So when you get to our book, here it is. Dun, dun, dun. I have a weird screen. Here we go. I'm going to share this with you guys. Here's the website. This is about 3/4 of the way down on the page. You're going to want to look for Virtual Book Festival. I'm actually going to add an extra tab as soon as we're done here that's actually going to say Virtual Bookshop. So you can find it right away. It'll be up here in the top of the tab next to where it says Virtual Bookshop. And you can buy the books direct. Also, we've got this wacky February literary, there we go, Diana's getting tired. Literary trivia contest. Oh, here, fill out the fun little quiz and you'll be in the running for a prize box filled with all this amazing festival swag. Plus, we're going to add some extra books in that swag box as well. So we're giving away a lot of fun stuff. I'm trying to make it as exciting and as enjoyable for you guys as I possibly can. Tell all your friends, tell all your family, gather people around the TV, throw it up on your smart TV, and just have a great time falling in love with the written word. Okay, Kate, last parting shots. Anything coming from you that I forgot? Oh, dear Sanity Seeker.
Nope, I think that you pretty much covered everything. I was just able to go to the website and get to the pop-up bookstore. So it was running slow, hopefully, because everybody is right now running to the pop-up bookstore. It's a super cool format. It's really easy to navigate. I strongly encourage everybody to check it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate your indulgence and allowing me to run overtime. I will be much more tight with this tomorrow. We've got 4 authors reading tomorrow. Nice, Randy.
Calliope says hi. Sorry, I'm trying to, I don't have a book to show you, so I want to show you a cat that's a little freaked out.
It's perfect. Thanks, everybody, for your overindulgence of time. I appreciate it. Congratulations to everybody who won, and I'll be shipping those books out in the next couple of days. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.